This historical Bitcoin pattern just returned, and that is what we need to discuss within today's update video. Because every single time Bitcoin creates this exact pattern, we do see the biggest moves of this entire bull market. So a lot to discuss within today's update video. Not only this, but also a lot more, like all of the most important Bitcoin charts and price data, the latest news hitting the markets, and some upcoming events. I will give a big update on both my Bitcoin and Ethereum trading positions, and we will look into the Ethereum charts and some altcoin season updates. So from there, guys, make sure to first of all subscribe to the channel and watch and like my latest YouTube videos, and then we can dive into the most important content. And first of all, I want to thank you guys for hitting the 7k subscribers, which is absolutely amazing. Hopefully we can hit 10,000 subscribers this year. And from there, I do want to discuss the Bitcoin chart, because Bitcoin is now showcasing a falling wedge pattern, and this pattern we've seen a few times during this bull market. We've seen it in 2025 here, we have seen it in 2024, and the beginning of 2000 or the ending of 2023 and the start of 2024. A falling wedge usually leads to a bullish Bitcoin breakout. So if history is going to repeat once again here, breaking out this falling wedge, we can be expecting a final move. And normally a falling wedge breakout does target the top side of the wedge, which is in this case a price target of about 126 to 127,000 US dollars, which is of course an amazing target for Bitcoin here. So potentially Bitcoin could be breaking out this falling wedge, initiating a final wave, and then topping out at the range highs for the cycle, for example. I think that's going to be a possible scenario for Bitcoin here. If we zoom into the Bitcoin chart, we can see that now we have once again getting rejected from off the range low. I think this is going to be an important level to reclaim for Bitcoin to break back into this range in its total basically. From there we can be moving towards the mid-range and then potentially to the range high, because the falling wedge is targeting this range high level for Bitcoin. So that is indeed looking very good. I do potentially think that the mid-range level is also going to be a very challenging level for Bitcoin, because from off this level we've always seen major drawdowns if you get rejected, and once we break back above that level, the mid-range level, we usually do see new all-time highs, which of course also very interesting. So this is going to be a very big level, but first of all, to start talking about the mid-range and the range high, we need to reclaim this range low, and Bitcoin has not been able to do so yet, also because we had a CME gap under us here, which is now filled up exactly like predicted in the other update videos. Bitcoin is now hanging on the moving average 50 trend line, which is fine in my opinion. We could drop a little bit below it for the week. The most important thing is that we don't want to see a weekly close under it, because that is going to confirm a lot of weakness for Bitcoin, and that might potentially be a first sign of a bear market going to get started here, because of course a falling wedge is also going to be able to get invalidated here and to break to the downside, but it is indeed a very bullish Bitcoin pattern. We could also be dropping a little bit lower in this falling wedge, potentially to the 98 to 96k level. So let's see about exactly that. We will see that of course in the near future, because the falling wedge is getting very close to a breakout. It is definitely tightening up here in the ending phase. Then we have two Bitcoin scenarios in my opinion, and those are most relevant regarding my Bitcoin trading position, because like you guys know, I'm in this Bitcoin trading position now. I've been opening my limit orders at the 103 and 100k level. Both got filled and both are still in a profit here. Then I still have my limit orders open at the 98k, which is about to correspond now with the downside, or basically the bottom of this falling wedge, which is quite interesting, and the 93k level, which is basically the range low of this green zone here. So in this green zone I do have more limit orders laying for Bitcoin. In the orange zone I have been accumulating. I think a bounce to the mid-range, like also explained here, is going to be a very realistic Bitcoin scenario, and from there I do want to see what the Bitcoin reaction exactly is going to be, and based on that I will take a decision on whether to take profits here or to keep my position open towards potential new all-time highs for Bitcoin. We do have a potential US government reopening incoming. It is probably going to happen this week according to Polymarket traders. It is now expected to happen at November the 14th, and this night the US House is going to vote on the reopening of the government, and if they are going to approve it, the bill is going to move to Trump's desk and he can be signing it into law, and the US government is going to get reopened here, which is going to be an impossible bullish event because the last time this happened, Bitcoin pumped over 300%, but I must say it is getting priced in now by the market that it is indeed going to end this week. So I don't know if there's still a lot of potential gains left here from the US government reopening, but I think necessarily it is going to be something bullish for the markets if we are truly going to see the reopening in this case. Then we have the Bitcoin supply ratio still at these bottoming zone levels, coming down ever so slightly. What this means is that during the dips like we saw in 2024 here, during the tariffs here in 2025, and now once again, a lot of people are swapping their crypto back into stablecoins. That is why the stablecoin supply ratio comes down during these major corrections, and now we are indeed in this bottoming zone for this ratio, and normally we see a bounce from off here because people are going to start buying the dip, swapping stablecoins into crypto again, and then you can see the recovery for the crypto market. So I think this is indeed a potential bottoming zone for Bitcoin, also aligning with a lot of other good looking charts. I think Bitcoin is going to see a bigger reversal than what we have seen so far. So I am definitely very excited for that, and I think my Bitcoin trade is going to perform quite well here in the next few weeks. Also, Trump announced a 2000 tariff stimulation bill, and if history is going to repeat in that case, we do know that stimulation bills are very bullish for Bitcoin from after COVID. In the COVID years, we also got some stimulation bills, and the biggest one was the Trump's CARES Act, and after that act, we saw Bitcoin basically start a massive bull market. Of course, it is not going to be exactly the same, but a stimulation bill like this is definitely going to be bullish for Bitcoin and the crypto market. We also have the long-awaited draft of the crypto market structure bill, and probably this is going to get approved before the end of the year, so that is also something promising we have coming up here for the end of the year. And now I do want to discuss Ethereum, because of course I still have my Ethereum trading position open and I still have my limit orders open, and I think there are some scenarios left for Ethereum. The difference between Ethereum, I think it's holding up a little bit stronger than Bitcoin, because if we are going to compare the ranges we are trading in or close trading by, Bitcoin wasn't able to reclaim basically the range low here, I would say, and Ethereum is trading above the range lows. Of course, you can draw this in a few different ways, so maybe it's not a fair comparison, but I think Ethereum is looking a little bit stronger here on the short term. We are now holding above the range low. I think a move towards the mid-range is going to be imminent eventually, and then we can be moving back towards the range highs, just like I was explaining with Bitcoin, and Ethereum will be closely following Bitcoin here in this stage of the cycle before it eventually can start outperforming Bitcoin also at the ending stage of the cycle, because that is usually what happens for Ethereum. Still, my limit orders open, like stated here, one market order open here on Ethereum in a very small profit. And if you do want to join me with this Ethereum trade, make sure to come over to LBank, because there you can now claim a 50% deposit bonus and a generous refund with a deposit bonus up to 2.5k and a generous refund up to 5k. So make sure to come and check it out if you're getting interested in that, because now you can also claim a $100 voucher on LBank. So basically 3 rewards just in one campaign. Make sure to come and check it out if you are getting interested in that, and then you can potentially also be opening an Ethereum position or a lot of other altcoin positions, because LBank is most definitely listing a lot of altcoins. Of course, in no way financial advice, but if you do want to join this and if you do want to claim this campaign, make sure to do it now, because this will only be lasting for a few more days, and it is indeed going to be a nice moment to do so, because now you're doing it at the range lows, for example Ethereum, and you don't want to do it at the range highs. You want to open your positions, or in my opinion you want to open your positions at the range lows, at support, and not at resistance. That's of course going to be something very important. Ethereum bouncing from off the moving average 50 trend line. Yet again, another indication that Ethereum is looking a little bit stronger than Bitcoin, because there we can see the comparison here with the moving average 50 for Bitcoin is looking a little bit different than this very strong bounce for Ethereum. So I think that is promising for Ethereum, and I do think there is still a possibility that we are going to see new all-time highs for Ethereum at the ending stage of the cycle. Once that is going to happen, once Ethereum breaks above 5k and also can hold above those levels for some weeks, I think that's also going to be and time frame where altcoins can see some outperformance once again. So that's what I'm currently looking for the altcoin market. Currently I'm not looking into opening new positions there, I'm just researching, but I will be opening positions there once again once I see Ethereum starting to make a bigger move, which could also happen with potentially the ending of QT, or not potentially, but the ending of QT in December, and potentially the start of QE at the beginning of 2026, which is also going to be a major event. And I do want to end the video with the following, and that is that if you want more updates from me regarding my Bitcoin trading position and my Ethereum trading position and much more research I'm doing on the markets, make sure to come over to the private VIP Telegram channel. You can find the channel here with the link in the description on this update video, and here in the channel I'm updating much more frequently on everything I'm seeing on the markets, on my trading positions here, for example on the CME gap, which was basically perfectly as predicted getting filled here. So I'm sharing a lot of updates here, not only me, also Crypto Rover and 5 professional other traders, so make sure to come and check it out. You can find the link in the description on this update video. And guys, that was it for today's update video. If you did enjoy it, make sure to smash on that like button, subscribe to the channel, and then I will see you guys within my next update video tomorrow.